Hello again, everybody. Um, Pretty much the same old with me. I am trying desperately to get over this head, sinus, chest, lung thing. Feels like Genghis Khan or Genghis Khan or however you pronounce his name, trying to invade all of China. Ugh, just won't go away. But I'm very thankful that I'm not sicker like I was a few days ago. I'm thankful that I can still walk and talk and breathe and write and speak to you guys. I don't talk much about my spiritual side, and that's because, well, the book the book that I read and take a lot of stock from, claims that religion is a bad thing, but to walk and talk and be part of the church is more important. So I believe that spreading love and understanding and knowledge and kindness and compassion is a lot more powerful than some other practices that I could be using my time for. So, I'm not a super religious person. I'm not even a super spiritual person, but I do know that our human bodies have a spiritual side. I know that there's things out there that we can't observe or tangibly touch or feel. I just know there's more than just these bodies that we're living in. And at the beginning of my TBI journey, I moved out here to my mom and dad's place here in the woods. And, they didn't send me home with a guide for, here's how to live life with amnesia, with your entire past erased, and how to rebuild. There's no game plan, there's no treatment plan in place. There is no treatment plan in place for people with memory loss. And for me, it's just been a live and experience type of thing. When you have a broken arm, they take x-rays and they show you what's wrong, and your osteo, your rheumatologist, your bone doctors, whoever you see, your, sports medicine specialist, whomever, sends you home with a pamphlet or a list of things you can or can't do or will or won't expect for your injury. And with brain injury, each one is so unique and so different. They can't tell you how long you're going to be injured. They can't tell you how long you're going to heal. They can't tell you. There's a lot they can't tell you. That's the point. You don't get a booklet to take home that says, here's how to live life now that your brain's hurt, or now that your memory's gone, or whatever the case may be. They know more about seizures than they do about brain injuries. They know more about the most rare diseases on Earth than they do about amnesia. See, amnesia used to be considered solely psychiatric. Like, it was a thing of thoughts and emotions and not a mechanical thing, like a certain area of your brain getting smashed and flooded with blood that shouldn't have been there, or pressure, or lack of oxygen. So, there's a lot that a bone doctor can tell you exactly what bones are made out of, how they work, exactly how many pounds per pressure it takes to break them, or reset them, or operate on them. But a brain doctor, neurologist, they can't tell you those types of details with any surety, because frankly, we just don't know enough about the brain to be able to do that yet. So, as a survivor of a brain injury, it's up to the patient to tell the doctors what's going on. And as a patient, we don't know what our doctors are looking for. We don't know how to do their due diligence for us. You know, we don't know before our appointment what it is that our doctor needs to know from us. So that's one of the hardest things about having an injury like this. When I go to my rheumatologist, she can do tests that say, you know, okay, Tara has a connective tissue disease. She has an autoimmune disease that caused that connective tissue disease. Now let's figure out what she doesn't have, you know, through trial and error. It's not exactly the same with the brain. My neurologist can't tell me why I know how to drive and cook, but why I can't remember something for more than 3 weeks without recording it or writing it down or whatever. So that's the frustrating part between medical professionals and patient when it comes to brain injuries, especially memory loss, because that's a tricky thing. So, it's not exactly encouraging or empowering, but it is good to know. Even people without brain injuries, people who are interested in them or care about someone who has one, you guys need to know that we weren't sent home with a handbook of how to deal with our lives and everything that may or may not change. And it's trial and error. And that's why we get so emotional, and that's why it's so hard for us after the fact. I can't really compare it to any other disease because it's more difficult. If I had a rare disease, there would be a different approach to treatment plans. Like, with the brain, it's just kind of what may or may not change and how long that might take. No brain injury patient knows what their side effects are going to be or if they're having side effects. It's just a tricky monster. But anyway, that's something that I talked about tonight at our healing group at the local church that I go to. And I'll talk more on that later. There's a lot that was discussed, and I think it might be helpful for others to hear portions of what we talked about. But for now, I'm just going to leave you with that knowledge that neurologists don't have all the answers. Most of them are not brain injured, or they would not be capable of their jobs. Just saying, you can be the smartest person in the world and have a brain injury, and it'll change your life. So, yeah, that's it for now. I'll make another recording about everything else later on, when I can put things into words better and not sound like I'm talking out of my nose. I probably will still sound the same. I don't think this is going anywhere anytime soon. So, that's what I have for you. I hope it's helpful to know the difference between, a broken arm and a brain injury, because it's not as easy. Not saying it's worse, but it's definitely not as easy. Okay, see you later. Thanks for listening, thanks for watching, and I'll have another video out pretty soon. Keep hope alive.